All right, so we're gonna go through some of our open chord shapes. I'm gonna try to get as close as possible. This first chord is a C shape. It should look like a diagonal. Now, if I take my hand away, the strings I'm pressing are the A string, which is the second thickest right here. I'm pressing it on the 3rd fret. On the next string, on the D string, it's the 2nd fret. The G string is open, and then for the B string, it's gonna be on the 1st fret. Should look and sound like this. All open chords should have the thumb over top. You shouldn't be like sucking it back like that. Okay, this is very close to our next chord, which is F. I'm gonna take these 2 fingers and just move them towards the thinner strings. So on my D string, I have the 3rd fret. On the G string, I have the 2nd fret. And then the 1st fret, to play a proper F chord, you do want to flatten that out to cover the 1st fret of both the E and the B string. If I let that up, that chord is called F major 7. You can kind of get away with doing an F major 7 with the index finger covering that E string so it doesn't ring out. Kind of like that. F is going to be a hard shape to develop, and how I want you to practice that is actually taking your pointer finger first, making sure that you have enough contact there. Think about press more from your index finger than your middle or your ring. Middle and ring are going to be fine, but really press hard. You should like almost be white knuckling it up there. See that? But F is notoriously the shape that people struggle with the most, so kind of be patient with that one. Next, we're gonna go to G. G is 4 fingers, so we're gonna take our 2 smaller fingers and put them on the very highest strings, E and B. Pinky and ring finger right there. Middle finger comes all the way across to the low E string, across from them. Index finger goes on the 2nd fret of the A string. Middle 2 strings ring out. Remember, thumb over top. That's a G chord. Okay. E. E is going to be 2, 2, and then 1. So starting on the A string, 2nd fret, D string, 2nd fret. Kind of like, looks like Spider-Man. Index finger goes up on the 1st fret. Should sound like this. Now this is one of our chords where we can easily get to the minor version of it. The difference between a major and a minor chord is just 1 note, and all I need to do is lift my index finger and I get E minor. So that should be 2nd fret, 2nd fret. Everything else is open. Now we're gonna go to A. A is 2, 2, 2. So D string, 2nd fret, G string, 2nd fret, B string, 2nd fret. Take your 3 smallest fingers and put those across. Should sound like that. And then to make A into A minor, this is another shape we can do this with. We're gonna lift up our pinky, trade it for our 1st finger. 2, 2, and then 1. 2, 2, 1. Okay. Next shape is D. This one is the triangle, is what I like to call it. And this one's probably like the most awkward looking just from this angle. I can't even see that. What I want you to start with is these 2 fingers. They're gonna be separated by the B string, okay? So I have the G string, 2nd fret, skip, and then the E string, 2nd fret. And for this is the D shape. I'm gonna kind of move my wrist back a little bit so my ring finger can get to the 3rd fret of the B string. So 2, 3, 2. Should sound like this. Okay. When we're transferring between chords, the ideal thing to do is move the fingers all together, like this. But when you're first building shapes, it's good to do like this first. So these 2, and then add your ring finger. and eventually work your way up to just moving them all together. But this is another kind of weird one that some people struggle with. We can get to D minor from here, but because of this triangle and this weird finger combination, we have to change a lot. Middle finger goes to the 2nd fret of the G string, ring finger, 3rd fret, B string. 1st fret of the E string is your index finger, looks like this. D minor. Okay, another important thing to know, which is a little harder to see from the face-on angle, is my fingers are very curled, and you should be able to see big open tunnels underneath them. Otherwise, they might be blocking a string and causing things not to ring out. So these are called open chords because all 6 strings generally work with them. There are some exceptions. When we have a D chord, we don't want to play this low E string. We usually don't want to play the low A string either. We want to start on the D string. It's a little bit of a higher voiced open chord. If I play A, that's a D over A shape. Different feeling, but E doesn't belong to that. Then F, we also play only the top 4 strings there. Okay, and besides that, those are all of our open shapes. So just to review, we have D, D minor, C, 3, 2, 1, G, where these are buddied up, and then middle finger all the way across, index, G. Here's F, which is a lot like C. A minor is also very related to C. A minor and C are actually relative major minor scales to each other. They're comprised of the same notes. So actually all I need to do is move my ring finger back behind my middle finger to get to an A minor chord, which is very common. This is the 1 to 6 progression. A major, three fingers all together. They're gonna feel like they're stacked up. The bigger your hands are, the harder it is to kind of squeeze them into this box. Another important note is you need to go before this line and before this line. You got to keep it like inside of this. That's why we're choosing our 3 smaller fingers and not this one. A major, E major, 2, 2, 1, and then E minor, 2, 2, Spider-Man. Now E minor sometimes gets played like this. It can get played with these 2 fingers. I've seen it played with these 2. It's all about the context of the part around it. So these 2 fingers would make a lot of sense if I was moving up to a minor bar chord shape like this, because I can keep that minor bass.